Most people believe they're strong. They believe they can't be controlled, that they think independently, that they act from logic. They don't, they react. They react to tone, to pressure. To accusation, to urgency. Push the right emotional button, and they reveal everything. Most people are easy to control, not because they're stupid. But because they're predictable. They defend too quickly. They speak too much. They rush decisions just to end discomfort. And in doing that, they surrender leverage. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this weakness. He wasn't interested in morality. He wasn't interested in being liked. He was interested in one thing: control. He studied power the way a scientist studies patterns. He observed how fear shapes loyalty, how ego shapes conflict, how perception shapes reality, and he built a system that made him untouchable. Not loud, not aggressive, untouchable, because the person who understands human weakness is rarely controlled by it. These are 6 rules drawn from that philosophy. Most people will ignore them, but if you understand them, no one will ever emotionally corner you the same way again. Let's begin. You think you make your own decisions, that your opinions are your own, that your actions are always rational, that your reactions are justified. You are wrong. Every day, you are reacting to pressure you don't notice. A look, a tone, a pause, a subtle expectation from someone else, and you respond before your brain even catches up. That's the illusion of independence. You believe logic guides you, but logic is the passenger. Emotion is the driver. Fear is the fuel. Ego is the steering wheel. Think about it. The last time someone challenged you, did you pause? Did you carefully weigh options? Or did you speak, defend, explain immediately? Most people react. Then they justify. They rationalize behavior that was never rational to begin with. And here's the brutal part: the world knows this. Manipulation exists everywhere. From office politics, to social circles, to relationships. The smartest, calmest people move first. They act silently while others react loudly. Niccolò Machiavelli saw this centuries ago. He didn't concern himself with morality. He didn't seek to be liked. He studied fear. He studied desire. He studied the invisible strings that make people move. Most people think they are debating ideas. They are defending identity. They are protecting the version of themselves they want others to see. And when you realize this, you stop being surprised by others. You stop reacting to chaos. You start observing. You start predicting. Control doesn't come from aggression. It comes from understanding the weaknesses others hide, even from themselves. The illusion of independence is the foundation of manipulation. Break it in your mind, and you can begin to move before others even notice the game has started. And once you see the patterns, you're ready for the first rule. Rule number 1. Study people like they are predictable. You might think everyone is unique, that everyone thinks differently, that people can't be read. They can. Ego, fear, desire. They follow patterns. Every human repeats behavior under pressure. Every person reacts the same way when pride is threatened. Every person hesitates when uncertain. Every person tells the truth without realizing it. Through tone, gesture, hesitation, or over-explaining. Think of the last argument you had. Did someone over-explain? Did someone panic? Did someone reveal more than they intended? Patterns. Always patterns. Machiavelli noticed this centuries ago. He watched people in courts, in wars, in betrayal. He studied fear. He studied greed. He studied the predictable human ego. Once you understand these patterns, you stop being surprised. You stop reacting. You start seeing opportunities before others even realize they exist. Power does not come from force. It comes from observation, from understanding the invisible rules that govern behavior. The person who reacts first loses. The person who predicts the next move controls. Look around you. Every conversation, every negotiation, every interaction. People are doing the same predictable dance. Most don't even notice. Most never see the strings. Most are too busy proving themselves right. But you will watch. You will wait. You will recognize the pattern and act with precision. Rule 1 is simple. but deadly. Study human patterns, predict behavior, stop being surprised, and the world becomes a map. Navigate with calm, silent authority. Rule number 2. Never reveal your full intention. Most people speak too soon. They reveal too much. They tell others what they want, what they plan, what they hope, and that is weakness. When someone knows your plan, they can counter it, they can prepare, they can manipulate your emotion before you even act. The less they know, the more power you hold. Silence is a weapon. Ambiguity is leverage. A pause, a measured word, a half smile can unnerve someone more than anger ever could. Think about it. When someone doesn't know your next move, you become unpredictable. They hesitate, they overthink, they reveal things they didn't intend to. That's hesitation. That's the shift of power. You don't take it by force, you take it by design. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this. He knew the people who control information control decisions. Those who speak first often give the advantage away. Observe, wait, let others act. Let others speak, then move. When the time is right, when the advantage is yours, you strike with certainty. Never revealing your intention isn't about hiding. It's about control. It's about forcing the world to move around you, not the other way around. Remember, the person who speaks first loses power. The person who speaks last dictates the outcome. Master the art of silence. Master the art of concealment, and no one will ever see your next move coming. Rule 2 is subtle, but deadly. And once you combine it with Rule 1, you begin to move through the world like a shadow, unseen, yet impossible to stop. Rule number 3. Never defend yourself immediately. Most people feel the need to react, to explain. To justify. And that is exactly what makes them weak. Defense is a signal that you are vulnerable, that you fear judgment, that you are not fully in control. The moment you defend, you've handed the other person the steering wheel. They set the pace, they set the agenda, they define the terms. Silence, on the other hand, silence is a weapon. It forces them to fill the space, to explain. To reveal things they didn't intend. Watch closely. Notice the subtle twitch in their tone, the extra words they add, the hesitation that betrays doubt. Pattern. Interrupt. Notice something. None of this requires aggression. Power is rarely loud. Power waits. Power observes. Power lets others speak themselves into mistakes. Niccolò Machiavelli saw this in action. Rulers were not defeated by those who argued aggressively. They were defeated by those who reacted too soon, by those who tried to defend honor, reputation, or ego before understanding the situation. When you do not defend immediately, you create doubt in others. You create space. You create leverage, and leverage is the language of power. Rule 3 is subtle, but it changes the game. The moment you stop reacting emotionally and let the world expose itself to you, you move from vulnerable to untouchable. Rule number 4. Control the narrative before it controls you. In business, the first version of the story often becomes the official version. A project fails if someone says first, "It failed because of poor leadership." That frame sticks. Now leadership is on trial. But if the first convoy says, "The timeline shifted because priorities changed," here's the adjustment. The narrative shifts from failure to strategy. Same event, different framing, different outcome. That is narrative control. In meetings, the person who summarizes confidently often controls how everyone remembers what happened. In negotiations, the first strong anchor influences the final price. In leadership, reputation spreads faster than performance reports. Now look at personal life. An argument happens. If someone labels you first, you're always defensive. You never listen. Now you're fighting inside their frame. You're not discussing the issue anymore. You're trying to escape the label. And once you're reacting, you've already lost leverage. Perception moves faster than truth. Machiavelli understood this deeply. He knew rulers weren't destroyed only by enemies, but by narratives about them. If people believe you're weak, they test you. If people believe you're unstable, they avoid you. If people believe you're decisive, they follow you. Reality matters, but perception shapes reality. This rule is not about lying. It's about clarity. Define yourself before someone else defines you. Frame the situation before someone else frames it. Because once a story spreads, it's harder to rewrite. Control the narrative early. Or spend your energy correcting it later. Rule number 5. Align with strength, not emotion. Most people choose alliances emotionally. They support who they like. They defend who they feel loyal to. They stay connected out of comfort. And in business, that costs them. In personal life, that traps them. In business, aligning with the wrong partner because of friendship can destroy leverage. You ignore red flags. You tolerate incompetence. You protect someone who weakens your position. Strength is not about personality. It's about capability. Who delivers results, who holds influence, who commands respect in the room. Those are strategic alignments, not emotional ones. In personal life, it's the same. You become like the people you consistently stand beside. If you attach yourself to chaos, you inherit chaos. If you attach yourself to ambition, you inherit direction. Loyalty without leverage is vulnerability. Machiavelli understood that alliances were not sentimental. They were calculated. He observed that rulers who aligned with weakness eventually fell with it, and those who attached themselves to rising power rose with it. This is not about abandoning people. It is about awareness. Ask yourself, does this connection strengthen my position, or does it drain it? Does this partnership increase my influence or reduce it? Strategic people evaluate alignment constantly, not emotionally. Logically, because in business and in life, you are judged by the strength of the company you keep. Rule 5 forces maturity. It forces you to choose growth over comfort. And once you stop aligning emotionally, you begin aligning intentionally. That's when your environment starts working for you instead of against you. Rule number 6. Act only when the outcome favors you. Impatience exposes weakness. In business, people rush decisions because of pressure, deadlines. Competition, fear of missing out. They sign contracts too quickly. They accept unfavorable terms just to close the deal. They respond to provocation in meetings to protect ego. And once they move emotionally, they lose leverage. The strongest negotiator is often the one willing to walk away, because walking away signals something dangerous. You are not desperate. In personal life, it's the same. Someone provokes you, challenges you, tests your boundaries. Most people react immediately. They argue, they defend, they escalate. But controlled individuals don't move from emotion. They wait, they observe the timing, they measure the risk. They decide whether engagement benefits them at all. Sometimes the strongest move is no move. Machiavelli understood patience as power. He knew that striking too early exposes intention, and striking too late loses opportunity. But striking from advantage, when leverage is secure, is decisive. Acting from advantage means you speak when the room is listening. You negotiate when you have alternatives. You confront when your position is stable. You exit when your value is clear. When you only move from strength, fear disappears. Because you are not reacting, you are choosing. Most people act to relieve discomfort. Powerful people act to secure outcomes. That difference changes everything. This final rule protects all the others. Observation, silence, narrative control, strategic alliances. They all lead here. Move only when it benefits you, and you become very difficult to manipulate. Most people will hear these rules and continue reacting. They'll keep explaining themselves in meetings, keep revealing their plans too early, keep defending at the first sign of criticism, keep aligning with comfort instead of strength, keep acting from impatience instead of advantage. And they'll call it being real. They'll call it being honest. They'll call it being themselves. But what they're really doing is surrendering leverage. In business, that costs influence. In leadership, that costs authority. In personal life, that costs respect. Power is not loud. It is disciplined. It is controlled. It is strategic. Most people don't lack intelligence. They lack restraint. They lack patience. They lack awareness of how predictable they are. But now you see the patterns. You understand silence. You understand narrative. You understand alignment. You understand timing. The question is not whether these rules work. They do. The question is whether you will apply them when emotion rises, because that is when most people fail. And that is why most people remain easy to control. Pause. If you prefer strategy over emotion, subscribe. If you understand the value of restraint, comment untouchable. And remember, the calmest person in the room usually holds the most power. Before you go, what you just watched isn't motivation, it's structure. And structure creates leverage. Over the next few weeks, I'm building something deeper, not just rules, a system that breaks down how to identify leverage in business, how to position yourself in high-stakes environments, how to recognize opportunities before others see them, how to move strategically instead of emotionally, because power isn't random. Opportunity isn't luck. It's pattern recognition, timing, positioning, and restraint working together. Most people miss opportunities because they don't see them, or they see them and move too early. This system will show you how to leverage moments properly in business. In career growth, in negotiations. In personal dynamics. If you're serious about operating differently, stay close, because what's coming next is not about being untouchable. It's about being positioned. And positioning changes outcomes.